welcome to another episode of the Sidecar Spin. Today I'll be speaking with Simon Chapman. He is an old school passenger from back in the day. He travelled all around Australia to race with John Robinson, and they also spent a lot of time over in Europe racing. So we're going to chat about that, chat about Europe, chat about his whole career in sidecars.
Hello,
Simon. Welcome to the Sidecar Spin podcast.
Hi, Tash. Thank you.
How are you going?
Pretty good, thanks. How you going?
Yeah, no, all right. All right. It's a bit rainy here at the moment, so hopefully we don't get too much rain sounds going on the podcast.
Yeah, it's a bit the same here.
So,
Cool.
let's get stuck into it. So you're a bit of an old school passenger. So, do you want to tell everyone a bit about yourself and how you got into sidecars?
It goes way back when I was a little kid. I used to go to the Rolly Park Speedway and motocross and road racing at AIR with my father. He'd take me out to see all that, and I just loved sidecars, watching it all. For whatever reason, that was just sort of the thing that grabbed me.
Yep.
So from way, way back, I wanted to be a sidecar passenger.
Yep. And when did you first jump on?
I ended up starting work when I was 15, and the people I was working for, they were racing sidecars just by sheer fluke. And so through them, we one of them was still riding, and it was two brothers, and the other one was really good engineering-wise, and the lightweights were just coming in, like the 500 two-strokes, and we're talking about sidecars, and he said, I reckon we could make one. And so I bought a brand new KX 500, and he built the sidecar off of it. And then I needed to find a rider, and a friend through school was a really good solo rider, Steve Skilton, who's sadly not with us anymore, and he was going to ride it. But in the end, that didn't quite work out, and we ended up getting David Wells to ride it, who was already a really good rider, who'd been Australian champion and raced over in Europe. And so it all just fell in my lap a little bit.
Yeah. So what, you would have been about, 15?
I was 17 when I actually started. I was 15 when I started work, and by the time we got round to all that, I was 17.
And was that in SA?
Yeah, it was here.
Yep, cool.
First race was at Clare.
Oh, okay, yep.
I don't think we ever raced there again. I don't know if they still hold races there, like whether they've made a comeback or not.
No, we've tried to get in there a few times and they haven't let us. I think they did a few years back, but yeah, I think they have trouble with the track a little bit, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you raced for a few years with that fella, did you?
We did 2 seasons together.
Yep.
With Wellesley. He moved away for work. He got a transfer to Darwin, and so John Robinson rang me one night, and he was looking for a passenger, and he and I got together. He was the one I raced with majority of the time. I think we did 7 or 8 seasons together.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a long time. So you guys went over to Europe?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. How'd that come about?
We were just talking about it and thought we could make it happen. And I was still living at home with Mum and Dad, and John was with Chris, his partner, and we just thought we sort of save up and try and get things put together. We had a couple of contacts from Joe Brockhausen, a German rider, had been over here racing, and John had got to know him a bit, and a couple of Western Australians had been over there previously, and they sort of told us a bit about what goes on, and we basically thought we could make it happen one way or another.
Yeah. So how did you guys find, going over there? Like back in the day, there was no mobile phones and the technology that we have now.
Yeah, it was very different. We organised to buy a bike off of Joe Brockhausen in Germany. He was a VMC dealer / Honda man over there, and he just lived in this little, or not even in a village, on a farm outside of a small village. And we rolled up at his house, and bike was there, and we had to just build it and get it all together in his farm shed. But we had really good contacts there. He put us on to some other people, and it helped us a lot. It was a very different world then without mobile phones.
Yeah, and it would have been hard with the language barrier.
Yeah. Luckily, they all spoke English way better than we spoke German.
Yeah.
There was just still a few funny instances with things getting misunderstood.
Yeah, John said that you guys had your clothes stolen once while you were in a race.
Yeah. While we're out racing.
Yeah, what happened there?
It's back when we were in like an Eastern Bloc country, and for them to get hold of anything from the West was just huge. So I got a pair of Levi's stolen out of the van. So some kid or adult would be walking around with them thinking they were pretty cool over time.
Oh, so did you just get left with no clothes, or you still had stuff?
No, we still had some. I think they just sort of grabbed whatever they could in a couple of seconds that they had.
Yeah. Would have been wild times back then too.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
It was a crazy eye-opener. I think I was 22 and John might have been 26 maybe. Back then it didn't seem like we were that young, but now I look back and think 22 was pretty young.
Yeah, to be in a foreign country with no real idea, just, winging it.
We lobbed in the UK and we'd organised with these English guys to buy this old Mercedes bus off of them, and that was our home of sorts for 6 months or so.
Yep. So that's how you got around everywhere?
Yeah. We had a bit of a base in Germany that we'd go back to, so we'd sort of go off and race down in France for a few weeks and then go back there and recoup and head off again.
Oh, okay, so you knew people there that you stayed with?
Yeah, it was just people that others had introduced us to, and they were all so good to us. And I think it was a bit of a novelty for some Aussies to be over there.
Yeah.
So they all helped us out a lot.
John said that you guys used to smuggle stuff through the borders.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Tell us more.
At one stage, we were going to Romania to race, and we are coming up to a border check, and the German guys told us beforehand, said a guy will come into your van or your bus, and they said just offer him some beer. It's like, right, just said, we're thinking here like to try and bribe a customs official or whatever's fairly serious charge over here.
Yeah.
And this guy gets in the bus, and we're just standing there, and he's walking around, and he's got his machine gun, his big coat on, and he's just looking around. We just opened the little fridge that we had in there. There's a couple of beers in there. We just opened the door and just went, beer? And he just looks at us and nods. And he just reaches down, grabs 2 bottles out, opens his jacket up, puts them in the pockets on the inside. And then he walks back out and he opens this cupboard in the actual border crossing area. And this cupboard is just full of cigarettes, alcohol, bottles of spirits and what have you. And away you go. All good.
So that's your payment.
Beer and through you go.
Your payment to cross the border.
Mm.
So how did you go? John was saying how you guys, didn't you just hit someone?
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting night.
Yeah, what happened there?
We'd finished racing for the day, and a young German guy was driving the bus, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and we were going down a road, and it's like 4 lanes wide each way, and just cruising along, and this guy has walked out, and it was a pedestrian crossing apparently, and he's walked out, and he's basically walked into the side of the bus right by the door where I was sitting.
Yeah.
And so we've hit him, or he's hit us, and he's just slid down the side of the bus and on the ground, and I'm looking in the mirror just thinking, holy shit, this is a bit serious. And the car behind us, who wasn't with us, ran him over.
Oh, no.
It was like the whole precision driving team at the show. They hit him on one side, and they're up on 2 wheels and then down. And
oh, no.
And this guy's just on the ground, and the young German guy driving, he's panicked, and he's just kept driving. And so we keep going down the road. Next thing, there's this car just trying to pull us over or almost run us off the road. and we stop. And these guys get out this car and start yelling at us saying, "You've killed a man, you've killed a man." And we're just thinking, holy shit. But luckily we hadn't killed him. He only ended up with a broken collarbone. But that night there was a big investigation. We're back at the hotel where we're all staying, and the police roll up and they want to know what's going on. And Andy, who was driving, they're talking to him, and then they want to talk to me because I was a close or best witness for it all. And they took our passports away, and then they're discussing everything, and we're thinking, God, we've heard stories about these Romanian jails where they make you stand in 3 feet of water all night and what have you, and wondering where we're going to end up. But the police kept going over and over the thing, and they had this totally different story to what really happened. And we're out in the car park now, and they're looking at our bus, and it's night time, and the cop is looking at the front of the bus, and in the grill he pulls something out and he says, "The man was wearing a grey jumper. This is from his jumper." And I'm saying, no, we didn't hit him at the front. He walked into the side. And he kept going on and on about it. And it was a spider web holding his hand. And I looked and I said, no, he hit the side of the bus. And so we walked around the side of the bus and they shine a torch on it. And you can see this big streak because the bus was really dirty from all travelling over there. And you can see where he slid all down the side. And the cop looks at me, he says, "You are correct. I just had to say that to see if you were saying the truth."
Oh, no. Oh, it would have been scary, though.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Yeah, because you just don't know anything. Are they corrupt? Are they going to just, like, like put me in jail or just, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
Especially if they're taking payments of beers and cigarettes to go across the border and stuff. You just don't know.
No.
Yeah.
And we still didn't get our passports back that night. It took a few days, and I think the West German guys that we were with ended up paying them like 500 marks, which was like maybe 300 Australian dollars or whatever, to get our passports back.
Wow. Yeah, full on. Did you have many instances like that? Like,
No, we didn't have too many more runs in with the cops.
yeah.
So there's this one track in France that we roll up at, and we're there in the first morning looking, and it's all set on the side of a hill, and it just goes up and down and up and down, up and down this hill, and then there's a start straight and a couple of corners on the flat. And we get closer to the hill part of it, and these hills have just got concrete poured down them.
What?
And it's not like your driveway. It's just like concrete's been dumped from the top out of a truck, and they might have raked it off a little bit. And we're talking to people, it's just like, what's going on here? And they just said, oh, they're just so steep. Like if it's wet, no one can get up them. So they just decide to pour concrete down them. And they're short, but really steep. Like they might be 40, 50 metres long.
Yeah.
And just zigzags up and down them. And we're just thinking, like, this is just going to wreck our tyres. And we'd been buying cheap Barron tyres from the Czech riders in the pits. It worked out to be like $30 Australian to buy a tyre.
Yeah.
And we're just using them. But that week we'd actually bought this really nice, in our thoughts back then, $100 Dunlop tyre that we're going to use. And so we're going to go really well this weekend. And we just looked at this and thought, this is just going to wreck our $100 tyre. So we're back to the Barhams, and everyone just said, you just destroy tyres. That's what happens. If you put a hard compound on, it just rips the knobs off. You put a soft one on, it just destroys it like you're doing burnouts. And that's just the way it was.
What the hell? So concrete, like,
yeah, it was like, and really rough.
And they just thought that was normal. Like they didn't.
Well, they just did it so people could get up the hill when it was wet. And it's just this track in the middle of nowhere in France.
Yeah. Imagine crashing on that though. Like you're going to smash yourself up.
And most of them were a right-hand corner before it as well, going up. And so for us, it's not so good where all the Euros, the majority are on right-hand chairs. But it was surprising. It wasn't that different, the speed between right and left. Like here, you think you get round a left way quicker than a right. But when you're actually racing against left and rights, it's not a huge difference.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Did you ever have a go on a right-hand one?
Nah, I'd be hopeless. I would step straight off the first right-hander. My foot would go out the front. I wouldn't even hit the hoop.
Yeah. Oh my God, you'd never get away with doing anything like that here. Putting the bloody cement on the track.
Yeah.
Surely they don't do that now, though. That would have just been back then because they probably had no rules.
Yeah. Because it's way, way back. We're talking 35 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's mad.
37.
Yeah, bloody hell.
I think it was that same race. We took off the start and got filled in a bit somewhere along the way. And it was just so hectic going up and down these hills. The whole first lap, I just wanted to rip a tear off, but I just wasn't game to. It was just, I was that busy just trying to stay on the thing.
Yeah, didn't want to take a hand off.
Nah, just people crashing into us crashing into people. And you're like dicing for 20 seconds or something. And just so much going on. So that was a pretty crazy track.
Yeah, wow. And that was France?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, wow.
And it was just like we're there, and in the beginning we'd just come in and finish 25th or something. It'd be a huge race, and we'd just be chatting away, just going, how good was that? Like, we passed that guy right near the end, and we got 25th.
Yeah.
Slowly we sort of progressed, and next thing we got some races where we were like 18th and 17th, and they're all just these achievements as we went along.
Yeah. And when you say those sort of positions, when you think about it here, you think, oh, yeah, well, like you'd be right at the end. But there, you're in the middle because there's so many bikes in a race. Like to get, 18th is actually really good.
Yeah, because there was 30 in every race.
Yeah.
We got to know this French family. They came to one of the races, and then the next race, their father, or the father of the family, was the president of the club, and their kids became our little cheer squad. And I think we got third. It was the first time we got on the podium over there. And they've invited us back to their place for a barbecue that night. And they made sure that we knew this was going to be a pretty special occasion for having us there for a barbecue. And we get there, and we're sitting outside in these big bench seats and tables, and there's a few other of their friends there. And the special barbecue was liver shazliks.
Oh.
And you're probably familiar with the way the French cook their red meat. They don't cook it very well at all.
Oh, no.
And so John and I are sitting there opposite each other, and they drop these plates in front of us with these shazliks that are just bleeding. And I was just like, I can't eat this even if it was cooked. I'm in trouble here. And I'm looking at John, and he somehow ate some of his. I don't know how he did. But I was peeling bits off, and they had a dog, and I'm just feeding it to him under the table. And I'm sure they saw me do it, but they were too kind and never mentioned anything. But I fed the whole lot to their dog.
Like a little kid when their parents are trying to make them eat something gross at dinner time.
We did one race in Austria when we were there, and it was a round of the Austrian championships, like their national championship. And we went all right. I think we ended up in the top 10 somewhere. There wasn't heaps of the GP guys there. But after the race, they have beer tents, and especially in Germany, they have really big beer tents on the Saturday night. And not so much the riders because they got a race the next day, but all the mechanics and the crew and the friends and family have a really good night there. And this Austrian one, they still carried it on the Sunday night. And so we're there just having a couple of beers afterwards, and we know no one at all. And we ended up chatting to a couple of people, like the locals there, and the beer tent finished about 10 o'clock or something. And it was like 3 or 4 people we were with. They're saying, oh, there's a discotheque on. And that was their true words, discotheque. Beside the mountain, we could go there. And they're saying, oh, we've all been drinking and whatever. And we were like, oh, well, we could ride the sidecar. Can you get there by dirt, like across the mountain?
Oh, no.
They're going, yeah, I reckon we can. And so and having had a few beers, we're just like, oh, well, let's do that. We'll all jump on and we'll head over on that. And then we get back to the bus in the pits and we realise we've got a flat tyre in the last race. And it's just like, oh, shit, that's not going to work. We're not going to change that now. And so they're going, no, we just can't go. We said, we can't drive because the Austrian police are really, really strict. Like, we can't do that. I said, no, it's all right, I'll drive. They go, no, the Austrian police, you've got to be careful, like, really. I said, no, it's okay. And they said, oh, no, you'll lose your license. And I said, no, it's okay, I haven't got one. It's like, what? It's like, it's okay, I lost my license before we came here. So it's all good. So we went off to this discotheque on the other side of the mountain in their car, and we made it there and back and didn't get caught by the Austrian police, so that was good.
Oh, bloody hell. They're probably thinking these mad Aussies.
Yeah, because it seemed weird. Like, we were really surprised that people just knew so little about Australia, and most of the people we met had never even met anyone from Australia.
Yeah, well, you talk to people back in the day and they thought we bloody rode around on kangaroos and emus.
Yeah. Well, one time we're in Italy, we're driving along, and it's like early afternoon or mid-afternoon, and there's this girl on the road, on the side of the road, hitchhiking, and we've stopped and we'd picked her up. We're in our old Mercedes bus, and she would have been like 15 or 16 or something, and she gets in the bus and she couldn't speak any English. She's trying to ask where we're from, and she's actually hitchhiking back to school after lunch. And she's saying where we're from, and we're saying, oh, from Australia. And she's looking at us, she says, Österreich. And it's like, no. And over there, Österreich was Austria.
Yeah.
Their way of how they say it. He said, no, Australia. And she's just looking at us, going, Österreich. No, Australia. And then she just looks and goes, Australia? Mamma mia. What are you doing here?
Oh, yeah, it would have been a spin out for him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so we just dropped her back to school.
Random as. Geez, she must have been game just getting in a van with some randoms from another country.
Yeah, jumps in this bus, had VMC sidecars on the side of whatever, because the people who had it before us had that on there. But,
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't have known who we were.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's all a bit funny over there. And back to like the beer tents and stuff.
Yeah.
Ottmar Königsdorfer, who's a German guy who helped us out heaps when we were over there. And he's just an amazing fella, and he came over here and raced later on. And sadly, he's not with us anymore. But one time before one of the races, they're having a bit of a barbecue, just cooking at their buses and whatever, and he's talking about having a beer, and he said, I only take 6 beers before a race. And it's just like, their beers are 500 mils.
Oh, wow.
So, like, bigger than ours.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, before a race, I only have 6. Just take it easy.
Only 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell.
We're just going, wow. Like, that's like having 8 or 9 of our stubbies. That's just a cruisy night before a race.
Yeah, I've seen their beer tents. It looks like pretty crazy.
Yeah. They're really cool. And they'd have bands on, and the old fella Schmidt, who we stayed with in Germany quite a lot, he'd classify races with how good their beer tents were and how good the bands were.
Yeah.
He'd be sitting up the front there just having a ball.
Yeah, well, it adds to the atmosphere of the whole sort of event, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it a whole show.
Yeah. I bet you some people regret it, though.
Yes. In general, like the riders, because we had to race, didn't do too much. But
yeah,
I remember being in one night, and there was back then German rider Garhammer, and he rode a jumbo, the 2-stroke twin cylinder EML back then.
Yeah.
And they were really hard things to hang on to. And we were sitting in this beer tent, and his passenger sort of stood up and said, see you. Like, I thought, oh yeah, he's doing the right thing. It was before the Grand Prix in Italy. And I thought, oh yeah, he's off to bed. And it turns out later he was off into town to party. Like, he'd had enough of the beer tent. He was moving on to the next one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not something I could do hungover.
No way. hard enough doing it without a hangover.
One I forgot about when we were in Hungary.
Yeah.
This was a weird one because when we were there, the wall was still up, like it was full eastern block and east versus west.
Yeah.
And so people in Hungary are in the eastern side and they'd do anything to get to the west. And in the pits in the morning, we're all just there, and there's this girl walking around in this fluoro green bikini and high heels,
What the hell?
walking up and down the pits, looking for a husband to get her out of the country.
Oh, really?
So the German guys told us, they said, that's what she's doing. She's looking for a boyfriend. And it was just so out of place. And there wasn't a lot of grooming in Hungary in 1989 either. It was bits hanging out of this fluoro green bikini.
Oh, God.
It was so weird.
Is that the girl that you, because John was saying something about someone smuggling some girl across the border.
That was Otmar, the king who I was talking about, who only had 6 beers before a race. He smuggled a girl out of Romania. They made a special compartment in the bus.
Oh, wow.
And smuggled her out in the back where the sidecar was. They built her into the back of the bus.
Full on. They must have been desperate.
She lived in Germany for years. And then when the wall came down, she actually went back to Romania.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That day in Hungary, when this girl was walking around, in the middle of the day, this huge thunderstorm came through. And next thing, the pits were a sea of rats. They'd all come out of their holes in the ground. And there was just rats running everywhere.
Yeah, full on. Actually, I reckon John said something about rats.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl in the fluoro green bikini. I've got a photo of her somewhere from the back. Sort of snuck one.
Oh, that's full on. So what? She's just prancing around
just
in the
parading
pits,
herself.
just waiting for someone to
and just
to
wanted to
take
get
her
out of the
home.
country and have a better life in the
Yeah,
West.
wow. Geez, that's bloody desperate, isn't it?
Yeah, we had one time we were in France and we just filled up the old bus with diesel and we'd parked on this bit of a hill. I think we went into a post office to send letters back home or whatever. And someone comes running in and starts going off in French at us. And when the bus, so we found out, is really full of diesel and you're parking on a hill, the diesel runs out the overflow.
Yeah.
So all this diesel was running down the road and they're all a bit green and stuff in France, even back in that day. So this guy was just going off at us and so we just jumped out in the bus and just driven off, stream of diesel going down the road.
So did you guys like the racing? Like, how different was it from Australia?
It was just so hectic compared to here.
Yeah.
Even though we had some good fields here, like back when they'd have the Aussie titles and the Heck Henderson and what have you. But over there, it was just 2 full rows every meeting we did. So 30 sidecars. And the first ever one we did, we just got no idea what we're doing. We'd roll up at this track in France and it was a race before any of the GPs had started. And there was, I think, 7 of the top 10 in the world from the year before were there.
Yep.
Plus various others. We qualified about 28th out of 30, I think. And as we're going to get our gate pick, it's in that order. And we're trying to pick a spot. And we pulled up behind the world champions from the year before, which is the Dohse brothers. And we thought, how good's this? We're just going to sit behind them. They'll get a good start and we'll be away. And the gate drops. And like 20 metres out the gate, that nearly crashed. And another 20 metres out, that nearly crashed again. It was just chaos. They're just bashing into people everywhere. And I think we were just in shock and we came out of the turn, I think, last because there was just so much going on. And then maybe 5-6 laps into the race, the Dohse twins that we saw nearly crash everywhere in front of us, them and I think it was Führer, Swiss guy, he was world champion a couple of years later. The 2 of them were coming around to lap us and they went either side of us and then banged into each other again and went round this left-hand corner and then disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And we were just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like, what have you got yourself into?
They were just so fast.
Was it it would have been a big eye-opener?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We always knew they were going to be so much quicker than us, but to actually be out there with them and see, and you just wonder how they got these things around that quick.
Did you have many tangle ups, like people crashing into you and stuff like that?
We're pretty lucky, actually. Virtually every race we did, there was a crash in the first corner,
Yeah.
but we didn't get caught in too many of them. But John was saying, God, I'm not used to just banging bars with people. I said, well, that only happened when I race solos because you've got all the left-hand and right-hand sidecars.
Yeah.
So there's times where they actually clash and handlebars together, which never happens here in Australia. But we were pretty lucky. One guy crashed into us and hit John fairly hard on the side, and he broke his ankle at one stage while we were over there. So that put us out for a little while. And we had another one that his front wheel came in through the chair, like where you put your left foot out on the front hoop there,
Yeah.
and took my knee out in there. Like his front wheel actually came in through there where my leg was.
Oh, wow.
That was a bit sore for a while.
Yeah. Did you get many injuries?
No, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah. So you pulled up all right after all those years of being a passenger?
Yeah, I broke my wrist. I had a few stitches in my arm at one stage and dislocated my kneecap a bit. But yeah, no, we're very lucky considering the time we're doing it. I think the only thing John did while we were racing together was his ankle in Europe.
Yeah, and you guys were, it's not like you were going slow either. So
No.
for the speeds and what you guys did, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're pretty lucky there.
Yeah. And John mentioned that you guys would drive all over Australia as well, like up to 30 events or something in a year.
Yeah, we travelled heaps.
How'd you go doing that? That would have been a challenge back in the day as well, with no phones and, yeah, with no mechanic and just sort of doing it
No, it
on
was
your
just
own.
us. Us in John's transit van. That did a lot of Ks.
Yep.
But we'd go up and do the Queensland State Championships quite often.
Yep.
And we'd leave here at Friday around lunchtime, get there just after lunch on Saturday. And John's father was living up there at the time, and we'd just crash out at his place and laze around Saturday arvo and sleep, and then Sunday morning up, race all day Sunday, then leave straight after the race, and we'd get back here Monday night.
Your jobs must have been pretty good to be able to leave all the time and go off and do the racing.
We were both working for ourselves. So John's a plumber and I was a sheet metal worker, and I was just subbing to various people, so I could just say I'm not going to be around and we could head off.
Yeah.
We'd go over to WA and they'd do a series of races there, 3 in a row over 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They'd put it all together like that to try and get some eastern staters over to do it.
Yep.
And the first one was at Kalgoorlie, so it's still 500 k's short of Perth. And they were really good. The West Australians would turn it on really good.
Were they sidecar only events, or were they in with the motocross?
They were in with the motocross.
Yeah. So did you get many? How many sidecars did you have rocking up? Because when would that been? What, early 90s?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, the WA scene was not too bad. They probably had a 12 or 15 or so would be there, I reckon.
Yep. And what bike would have you guys been riding then?
Either on a VMC with a CR500 or in, I think, 87, 88 it was, we had a EML with a CR500 Honda in it.
Yeah.
That was a really nice looking bike. That was still nickel plated back then, not a powder coated one.
Oh, that's cool. So John said something about racing the King of the Cross in WA. Yeah, he said you guys drove all night once across the Nullarbor and then hit a kangaroo.
Yeah, that was coming home. We were driving in the middle of the night and there was just roos everywhere. It got to the point we're doing 20 k's an hour weaving in and out of them.
Oh, wow.
So we just gave up and stopped for a couple of hours and had a bit of a sleep. And we got going again as the sun came up and cruising along, and bang, hit one while we're doing 100 odd.
Oh.
And it's put a hole in the radiator. So we tried to get to the next town, so we kept pouring whatever water we had into the radiator, and we just didn't get there. And so we're stuck out in the Nullarbor, and it was 100 k's to one town one way and 100 or more back the other way. So we took the radiator out. And John's standing on the side of the road holding the radiator, hitchhiking.
Oh, no.
And because, like you're saying before, it's no phones.
Yeah, what do? You can't just leave your car in the sidecar on the side because, like, you guys would have just had a regular trailer, yeah?
We were just in the transit then.
Oh, in the van.
Yeah, the bike's in the van.
Yeah.
And so eventually someone picked him up, like heaps drove past and just didn't stop. And this old couple in a Winnebago style thing picked him up. And they stopped and they had a rifle sitting between the two of them. And they pulled over to stop. And they took him to the next town. And I stayed back with the transit. And he's headed off. He's got to the next town. They couldn't do anything with it or fix it. And they've phoned through to the next town that's another however many 100 Ks away. And they had a radiator and some truck that was going through. They gave it to him. Then he dropped it off to John. Then John hitchhiked again back to us, or to me. And he rolled up with a drink and a sandwich and a cake because I hadn't had any food or nothing for the whole day because we'd poured all our water in the radiator.
Yeah.
And it was like 12 hours from the time we hit the Roo to when he came back again. It was a very long day just sitting out there on the Nullarbor.
Yeah.
Put the new radiator in and off we went.
Did you have many situations like that?
No, considering
driving all over the countryside.
Yeah, no, we didn't have too many other breakdowns or whatever.
What sort of places did you go to race, like around Australia?
We'd go to New South Wales once a year. They would just have a race there. There's a fella called Terry Gunter, who's the brother of Anthony Gunter, who was like Mr. Motocross and that back in the day.
Yeah.
And he'd raced in Europe on solos, and then he'd moved back to Australia and he started racing sidecars, but he was the only sidecar in New South Wales back then. And he'd hold one event a year that was the New South Wales State Championship. And I think it was below Sydney where he would do it. So we'd go there once a year. And then I think we'd go to Victoria sort of a dozen times or more a year and race at Ballarat and then down at Currumbara and Bendigo and all over Victoria.
Where was your favourite place to race?
I always liked Dohse Park. That was where I very first started riding with Worlsy. We'd go up there and practice from day one. So that was always a really cool track. They'd have the Heck Henderson there. It was a really good race back in its day. It's a hill climb now. They've totally changed it.
Yeah, it's not, they don't have any races there anymore.
No, Dohse Park.
No, it's not, signed off as an event track anymore.
All right.
They just have ride days there, but sidecars haven't been there for ages. Yeah, which is a bugger because everyone does say that was one of the best tracks. And there's a few old videos of like Barry Buckley and that racing there back in the day, and it seemed to be the place to be.
I remember going there before I started. I would have been 16 because I rode a motorbike up there and watched the Aussie titles there. Barry Buckley was racing with David Ahola, and there was like Brian Stewart and Kim DeMarty from Victoria. I remember just looking there and just thinking it was so cool, not knowing that I was sort of going to be doing it in a year or so's time.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think back like that. You think, if you'd had asked me, a year ago if I'd be doing this, you'd be laughing. You'd think, oh, no way. So what would have been...
sort of all just fallen into sidecars a bit in the last few years?
Yeah. I only started 2023. I jumped on with Eliza Wedge in an all-girls race day, and then, from then I've raced pretty much every single event that there's been a sidecar at. I've been on it.
You definitely got the bug.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit obsessed. Just a bit. Nah, it's great.
They sort of grab you, the sidecars, don't they?
Yeah, and like I was doing solos, but now I'm like, I'm sort of ditching the solos to do as much sidecar stuff as I can.
Yeah.
But got to do it while you can. Yep, I'm not getting any younger.
No, I'm very aware of that.
How old were you? Like, how long did you actually ride for?
It wasn't actually that long. I think I did nine seasons, so I was only 26 or whatever when I stopped.
Okay, yep. Did you just had enough or?
Yeah, I think so. We had a really good year. The year that I finished, we won lots of stuff all around, and it just sort of felt like it's not a bad time to
Finish on
get
a
out
high? Yep.
and
Well,
do
it's a big
something else
commitment
maybe.
too to be doing that stuff for, that long and at that level that you guys were doing it and traveling and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we did it pretty full on. Most Friday nights was working on the bike at John's place, and weekends were either practicing or racing. Wasn't too many weekends a year we'd actually have off, but
Yeah,
it
well,
was
you
good.
guys
I
would have
loved it.
taken it pretty seriously.
Mm.
What would have been your biggest achievement?
Probably winning the Aussie title was the big one when you look back at it.
Yep.
But that day we won, and we won quite easily. And there was other years where we had way better battles and didn't win, sort of thing, that were really satisfying, but in another way, a bit depressing races because we didn't win.
Yeah,
There
but
was
it's
one.
always good to have hard races.
Mm, yeah. So
Who,
when we actually won it, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't like a battle till the last corner. It's crazy, as in Trevor Anthony from Victoria.
yeah.
His passenger got injured just beforehand, so he was riding with someone else, so he wasn't as quick as he'd been for the rest of the year, where we'd been having really good battles with him.
Yeah. And would you say he would be one of the ones that you've had like the most battles with?
Yeah, at that time, it was him for sure. And back locally, we used to have some good dices with Darren Williams and Mark Kendall. We're always really close, the two pairs there.
So what do you think would be sort of your most memorable moments?
Um, I think some of the ones in Europe, we we never actually qualified for a Grand Prix. We went to three, I think, while we were there and tried to qualify. The one in Czechoslovakia, we missed out by just two spots. They have the two qualifying sessions. Back then, they weren't qualifying races. It was just a timed one. And we just missed out on getting in, and there was 70 sidecars there.
Oh, wow.
The top six from the World Championship were guaranteed qualification. So there's 60 odd sidecars vying for 24 spots.
Yeah.
It was pretty full on. And they had a race for non qualifiers, and we did that, and we got third in that one. Just the crowd was huge. Even on the Friday when we rolled up, they were saying there was just literally thousands of people there just watching everyone come in and set up.
So what do you reckon, like, what do you think held you guys back from being able to, like, be up there with those guys? Like, what differences do you think it was?
I think a lot of the tracks were so much more technical and harder than they are here. We rolled up at one of the tracks and we'd go out in first lap of practice, and we couldn't even get up this hill to start with. Like, we got stuck partway up the hill.
Yeah, wow.
It's just like, we can't even actually do a lap of this track.
Coming from here, like, being the best, and then you get there and you're like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah. And it worked out that we watched some other guys, and to get up the hill, even though it was straight and you weren't turning, I was like sitting over behind John with my arm right up around and holding the front of the tank.
Yeah, wow.
And he's up over the bars to keep the front down. And that's the only way we could get up the hill.
It was that steep.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. I couldn't even imagine that.
But, Joseph Brockhausen, the one I was talking about before, we bought the bike off. He said at the end of the year, because we ended up getting some places and that in international races, and we won one when we went to Romania. And he said, come back next year. He said, I'll build you a big motor. And he said, you'll win in France, like the international races. And then ideally you'll qualify for Grand Prix as well, because we just had a standard 500 then. Everyone else had the big bore ones.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, wow.
We progressed as we got there. You sort of, you get the hang of it a bit.
Yeah, so if you guys, like, did it a bit more, because how long were you there for?
It's pretty well 6 months when we went, like a whole season,
Yep.
their season. And then we went back the next year just for a month for a series of races.
Oh, okay.
The German guys organised a bike and a bus and everything. They said, if you just pay for your airfares to come over and we'll take care of the rest. And that was really cool. We rode a Zabel then over in those ones.
So how hard was it to like source a bike?
For that second one, the German guys all organised it, but the very first one, we organised it all from here. We bought a brand new bike, and when we got there, it was sitting there, and we had to put it all together and get it all sorted, and off we went.
Yeah, and the logistics of that would have been hard back in those days without all the internet and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite amazing when you think how easy it is now to be in touch with people, to send an email.
Yeah. So how did you do it? Was it like phone calls or letters or something?
Yeah, I think John really did virtually all of that. So it would have been just phone calls and some letters. And somehow it all works. You're on a plane and then you roll up and there's this bus that you've organised to buy, and then you drive off in that and end up in this little village in Germany, and there's the bike that you'd bought.
Yeah, where would you reckon would have been the hardest to ride?
The sand was a bit of a challenge when we went to WA the first time because we'd never really ridden deep sand.
Yeah.
But we sort of got the hang of that all right. But in the beginning, the WA guys were saying, oh, you don't really hang out as much and don't do this and don't do that. And then we take off in practice and it's just like, God, they're just doing exactly like we were doing over here, like out heaps. And so the sand was good. But I think in Europe, it's the hills and amazing amount of rocks on the track. Like you just get smashed by rocks. Where sometimes you'd walk around a track here and just throw the odd rock off you'd see. You'd walk around a track there's just thousands of them. You don't even start to throw them off.
Yeah, wow.
You just get pelted by them. Yeah, we just got hit by so many. You'd be bruised, and I caught one like straight in the goggles once and just ended up with a decent black eye.
So how did your family and your friends and stuff, like, did they always support you?
My family definitely did. I was saying before, my dad taking me to races earlier, and he had motorbikes when he was younger. He didn't have them when I was around, but he had some pretty cool bikes that'd be good to have now, like old HRDs and aerial square fours and stuff with sidecars on them. But I never saw any of them. But they were really supportive. My parents would travel around, that came to the Aussie titles in WA and Queensland and wherever. My friends weren't really into it. All through school, I just played footy and cricket because I'd never had a motorbike. I always wanted one. And so they weren't so much into it. I was sort of the odd one wanting to be into motorsport. But yeah, I had lots of support from the family, and friends would come out and watch, but it just wasn't really their thing. But then you make like the new friends through the sport.
But was it as well known back then?
No, I think
it seemed to be more
sort of thing.
bikes around back then, but yeah.
Yeah, sidecar motocross was still a thing that people just had no idea what it was. They would just say, oh, what, you just sit in the sidecar.
Oh my God, when people say that, I think, oh, you've got no idea. Oh, they think it looks easy. Oh, I can do that. It's like, oh.
Sometimes they'd talk about it and say something about being fit or whatever. They go, oh, do you have to be fit?
What did you do for fitness stuff? Did you train?
Yeah. I used to ride a bike a fair bit, like a pushy, and didn't really do weight training or what have you. And we would just practice a lot too. It was the best training in between riding bikes during the week. We'd just go down to Gilman and just do lap after lap after lap.
Yep. And you ride a bike, don't you? You do bike racing, don't you now? Like
pushies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of road pushy racing and a bit of cyclocross, and done a couple of mountain bike races only the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah, John said that he'd caught up with you or seen you at some race or something, like random as, like, what the hell? What are you doing here?
Yeah, because he was always into the road pushies as well. He's done a lot of Ks on them. My son's right into pushies, so I think John was following him a bit, and we crossed paths that way.
Yeah, what a spin out. You're like sit on a sidecar with someone for all those years, and then next minute you're seeing them at something else. It's weird how the same people sort of gravitate towards the same type of sports.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Yep. Punishment.
Yeah.
Self-punishment. That's what it is.
Must be.
Yep, glutton for punishment.
Mm. Speaking of other sports, I did a bit of ski racing after we gave up the motocross.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's a pretty radical sport.
Like skiing on like snow or the river?
On the river, water ski racing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool. Like speed ski.
Yeah,
So you must have been pretty wild then.
I like gone far.
Yeah. Bit of an adrenaline junkie.
With the ski racing, we were like in a lower class and very new to it all, and nothing like the top guys. They were just
Yeah.
amazing.
So over the years, what sort of bikes did you guys ride? I know you sent me a couple of pictures of some pretty cool bikes.
So the very first one was a KX 500 that the Roberts boys built, and it was called a JRS. Their business was J. Roberts and Sons. And then they built a Honda CR 500 as well that we raced at the Aussie Championships in WA. That was the first Aussie Championships.
And how hard would have that been to like get all the sort of, because they were the more modern ones with the leading, like the front leading link things and stuff, or?
The actual ones that these guys made that we raced on the first two bikes, they did them with the extended triple clamps and kept the telescopic forks.
Okay.
And they actually work quite well, but the forks still flex a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think even recently some guys in Europe have still experimented a bit using the forks, but just doesn't quite work. And then, so those two bikes I raced on with Wellesley, and then John had a VMC Honda when I started with him. And then I think we had the EML Honda and the VMC in Europe. And then we had Kawasaki's once we came back from Europe, and they were still VMCs.
Yeah. So the bike that you guys had here, were they like imported from over there?
Yeah.
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 And how hard was that?
Wasn't too hard. I think now and then there was like an Aussie guy who was an importer, and you'd buy it through them.
Oh, okay, yep.
And then you'd go to the local Honda or Kawasaki shop and just buy a brand new CR 500 or KX 500, and you'd put all the plastics off of the Solo onto it, where now all the plastics come with them.
So do you still have anything to do with any, like, do you have any bikes or anything anymore? Or?
Yeah. I've got quite a few. Like, I haven't got any sidecars, but I took up road racing about 20 years ago, like on motorbikes, and did that for a little while. And so, I've got some road bikes just for the street, like registered ones, and a couple of race bikes and some dirt bikes and a couple of old motocrosses that I'm trying to do up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool.
I've actually been to Dohse Park just on their ride days a bit the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
On the dirt bikes, just cruising around. And I haven't actually raced on the road for about 5 or 6 years. Last time I raced was up at the Bend when they first opened that up. And I still do track days. I went to Phillip Island last year and did a track day over there and do some at the Bend.
You said you had a son? Has he ever showed any interest in doing the sidecar?
We talk about it. We still may end up with one day and have a ride together.
Ah, yep.
He raced motocross in juniors, and then he ended up racing pushies, but he and I actually did a Pony Express last year at Dohse Park on the dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
The Levis one?
Yeah. I've done a couple of them, yeah. I did the Iron Man one.
Oh, you went full solo?
Yeah.
That's a good effort.
Oh, it was hard. Very hard. So rough.
It was warm that day.
Yeah, and rough as guts, and there's a magpie and it kept swooping me and hit me in the helmet every time I went around the bloody down the bottom there was like this log and there was this magpie and I could see it was like eyeing me off every time. I'm like, don't do it. And then I'm like, ew, and there's like whack into my helmet. Bloody hell.
Cool. I didn't see him. But...
Yeah. Oh, it was on to me. It wanted to get me.
That's no fun. So bad on the pushies when they get you because just with a little pushy helmet on. You
Oh,
had to get
yeah.
your ears and through the helmet.
Yeah, they used to get me because I used to fight Muay Thai and I used to have
Right.
to run 10Ks every day. And yeah, you'd have to pick a running path where there was no magpies because they'd just chase you and attack you all the way up the bloody street. And all the cars driving past be like, what the hell? Like running, trying to whack it with your hat or something. Yeah, they're buggers. Yeah, but yeah, I've been whacked a few times on the motorbike with the bloody magpies. Mm.
Oh, that's funny.
So what do you reckon over all the years of riding, what do you reckon was the biggest challenge?
Um, I think just to organise and do everything to go to Europe that first time was a huge effort. But it just turned out so good. It was like the time of my life just to live over there and just be racing full time and living in this bus, going from race to race and meeting all these crazy people.
Yeah.
But it was a fair effort to organise it and get it all done.
Yeah, like the crazy guy that you guys went with in the little car.
Yeah, he was wacky. Probably John probably told that story fairly well, but
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
I'm sitting in the back of this little van with these carrots and lettuces and stuff, and he's trying to drive up this big steep hill out of where the track was. And we'd get just part way up and the car would just die and stop and we'd roll back down again. And we just couldn't work out what was going on, like why this car couldn't get up the hill. And it just turned out that he was just so drunk. He was like trying to get up there in fourth.
Oh,
We just
God.
had no idea what was going on and they couldn't speak a word of English.
You guys just hopped in with him.
Yeah. He just wanted to take us out and show us a good time or something. That was a pretty crazy night, especially when his wife just smacked him across the head and we rolled up at his home and she was so mad at him for being drunk and we still didn't know why or what was going on. We didn't realise he was drunk.
Thought he was just French or whatever he was.
She fully slapped him. And then he's just like, come, off we went.
So who would have your biggest influences been when you were racing? Like, who did you look up to?
Probably before I was racing, when I'd just go and spectate a bit, I'd look at like Brian Stewart, Kim DeMarty from Victoria. They were right up there. And from way back when I was real young, there's Barry Buckley was riding and Phil Franklin and what have you. And then when I start riding and Barry Buckley's still riding, it's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's like...
Now he's still riding.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I look to like the European guys that you just read about and hear a little bit about. There's Brockhausen, who we bought the bike off. He was second in the World Championship 3 years in a row. He never won one. It's just like that was a fair effort.
Yeah.
And like Bowholder came over here, and I think he's the one who won each year when Brockhausen came second. He came over here and rode a bit. But Murray Williams is a full legend of the sport, and I didn't really see him ride too much, but just from he would be out there with Darren and Mark, and he was building their bikes and whatever, and Murray's a full legend.
Yeah, he still often comes out. Like when we have the Murray Williams Cup, he comes out and chats to everyone and walks around and, yeah, has a watch and gives out the trophies and stuff at the end. So
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's got some funny
I
stories.
drive and see him, like I drive past and if I see his shed open, I might stop and just say good day to him and have a chat. But he's a good guy.
Yeah, no, I'd love to get some of his stories on here. I reckon would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, and he loves a good chat.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have many accidents or anything. Did you have any like really crazy like near misses or sort of holy cow moments?
No, I had one when I was riding with Wellesley. We were racing at Acusa Park. It was a Heck Henderson, and there used to be 2 10-lappers for the actual main event. And we won the first one, and we were leading the second one, and we were hooking along fairly fast straight. It's after the first turn between the first and second. It was on the bike with the telescopic forks, and the front axle broke.
Oh, no.
and the front just knifed, and I just got catapulted off, and just flying through the air, and I've hit the ground, and it was just like a ugh, and then I just looked and I saw a tire which was marking the side of the track. I just sort of like rolled 2 or 3 times and got to the tire to get off the track and just laid there for a while, but luckily it just sort of winded me a bit, and I cut my arm up a bit. I think that's one of the times where I had some stitches.
Yeah.
But it was a big fast crash, but we were lucky we didn't actually get hurt.
Yeah. What sort of gear did you guys wear back then?
We didn't have very good gear at all back then. I reckon I had like body armor of sorts, but it was sort of just like this foam chest pad and these plastic shoulder cups, I reckon.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah. Did you guys wear the full face helmets?
Yeah, I reckon. Well, I think we had these Arrow ones then that looked full face, but the front was actually just a bolt-on section. And John and I wore them even in Europe the first year, same ones.
They wouldn't have protected you very much from all the rocks and stuff.
Nah, well, it probably wasn't that different to the ones now as what they covered. But
Yeah. And how did you find all the crowds and stuff? Did you guys get many big crowds back like in Australia when back in the day?
no, it was still a bit tame. Like back when we first started, though, the Aussie Championships were really big. They'd have big crowds there because it was just a one weekend thing, and it was all the solos as well. So you'd have Leask and Craig Dack and Glenn Bell and all the top guys. There'd be the 125, 250, 500s for the solos, and then the sidecars as well over the weekend. So they were really big events.
Yeah.
And they were cool because you get to see all those guys.
Would have been good exposure for the sidecars too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that was back when they'd have 500cc and 1000cc.
Yep.
So there was the 2 sidecar races and the 3 senior solos, and they'd have restricted license holders, like 14, 15-year-olds on 125s as well.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Teams were big back then, and like they have the Marlboro Yamaha team and what have you.
Yep.
They were
Yep.
pretty cool days.
Yeah. And what do you reckon the tracks like? Do you reckon the tracks changed a fair bit over the time as well? Because I had looked at some old photos of like Darren Williams doing a massive big jump on one of
Yeah.
the things. Like, did everyone ride like that? Like, were the jumps big or?
It was only sort of like when he came in the same sort of time that I started. He started a year or two before me. That the lightweights came in and they could jump them like that.
Ah, okay, yep.
But he was definitely the one who jumped the biggest back then.
That would have spun a few people out.
Darren's just Darren. Like some people would think, oh, like he's just trying so hard because he wants to win. And you talk to Darren, you just go, I'm just doing big jumps because they're fun. He had a different attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still like that. He's super chill.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He's just a skater from way back.
yeah. Yeah, I raced alongside him at Port Pirie, I reckon it was last year or the year before, when we did the vintage Aussie titles.
All right, was he on the Norton?
Yeah, yeah. And I've actually been on that Norton. When I before I'd had any races, I rode because I've got a CR 500 solo, and I
Right.
rode that at the Murray Williams Cup when they had a vintage class. And
Yeah.
so that was the first Murray Williams that I'd gone to. I think that was 2022 or 2022. And they did like a demo thing. So anyone that was there could jump on a sidecar and have a lap. And
right.
I'm waiting out in the track, and then he pulls up and he's on like this old Norton. It's like lumping over. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, and I hopped on. I was like, oh, I haven't done this before. And he goes, it's all right. We'll just go slow. And then he's just like, and I was like, holy crap, my arms nearly ripped out of their sockets. Like I was not ready for the power of that bike. And he's just cruising around. And I'm sure he probably was going slow. But for me, like being a new person on there, oh my God, I was just like, what the hell? I think I did 2 laps and I was like, nah, like that, like I'm done. I can't do any more. Yeah. But yeah, what a beast. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
that. It was like, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's Darren Williams." I was like, "Oh, what?" Like, I didn't even know who it was. I just jumped on
Yeah.
with him because
Mm.
they were sort of just coming and giving people a turn. But yeah, no, that was a cool experience.
He and I actually went to school together, but he was a year or so older. I didn't know him that much at school, sort of,
Yeah.
and knew him, got to know him more through all the sidecars. But I rode with him once in Victoria. It was the end of the season, and we were chatting, and I don't know how it came about. And he said, "Oh, do you want to go do a race in Victoria?" He said someone was going to lend him a bike from over there.
Yeah.
So he and I caught the bus to Victoria with our gear, and they picked us up, and the race ended up getting cancelled. We just went there and did a practice day instead. But it was pretty funny. We roll up at the bus station. He's gone, guy in Victoria owes me some money. He said, but can you just pay for my bus ticket and then I'll pay you back when we get to Victoria? So he and I just jump on this bus and off we went to race, but it didn't quite happen. So I rode with him once.
Yeah, sort of only really rode with John and was it Wellesley you said?
Yeah, David
Yeah.
Wells.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. I did a few laps practicing with John's brother Paul.
Yep.
He raced sidecars a bit as well, and he's a pretty good solo rider too. But yeah, I didn't really ride with too many other people.
Yeah. And did you teach yourself?
Well, pretty well. I just sort of jumped on with Welsing because he was a top level rider already, so you sort of learnt fairly fast from them. Yeah, the Roberts brothers who I was working for sort of taught me a bit, but yeah, you pretty well learn on the run as you found out already.
Yeah. Well, people can sort of give you hints and stuff, but you've got to sort of do it to
Mm,
learn it because it's really hard to, like, when people explain stuff to you, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But unless you're doing it, it's really hard to understand why they're saying, like, do this or do that.
yeah,
And, like, yeah, you got to do it for it to sort of click. And then you're
yeah.
like, okay, now I know why I've got to do that. And yeah, yeah, it's,
Then it all comes together.
yeah, yeah. And like, some people have told me stuff like ages ago and it sort of didn't, like, sort of went in one ear and out the other. But if they tell me now, I can understand it a bit more because I've done enough of it to get it.
Yeah, you can relate to it a lot more now.
Yeah, yeah. So what would be your favorite thing about racing the sidecars?
I think it's just like the adrenaline rush of it all. Like, sometimes I say to people, it's like picture your best ride at the Royal Show and times it by 10 because you're making it happen as well. It's just a pretty good thrill when you're just hanging out in a left-hander and the bike's just flat out sliding, then you're powering out, then up and over the other side and around the next one, over a jump. It's just non-stop fun, besides being a little bit hard physically.
Did you ever get, like, scared? Like, was there ever a point where you were like, "Oh my god, like, this is too much?"
Um, no, I don't think. I was sort of always aware that things could go pear-shaped, and I think if there's not a little bit of fear, you're either lying to yourself or you're not thinking straight.
Yeah.
But never to the point where I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Like, when you had, any type of doubt like that, like, how did you sort of deal with that and get yourself over it?
I think a lot of it was like, well, I'm here, I'm in this deep already, I can't back out now, and a little bit of blind faith maybe.
And just trusting, I suppose you just gotta trust the person that's riding.
Mm. Yeah, because I only rode with Wellesley and John, and like, they are just really good riders. And so I never had any doubt in my mind of their capabilities that they're not going to probably stuff up and put me in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I rode with, Lara Wedge on the weekend and I was like, I was nervous, but I know that she's, like, a really good rider, and I know that, like, I trust that she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I knew that I was gonna be okay, even though I'd
Mm.
never really gone that fast before.
Yeah, that would have been a whole new thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and, like, just being up in the first corner banging bars with everyone and being amongst everyone, it's like, you see when you watch some of the GPs and stuff and you see them all up there and everyone's bloody tipping over and getting stuck, and I'm thinking, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen to us. But then I'm at the same time, I'm like, oh, she knows what she's doing. She's not going to like put us in a position where we're going to get, tipped out or anything like that.
It's like John was a really good rider, and you would know, like, he would break in the same spots each time and just do things the same all the time. You wouldn't have to guess what's going on. And as you rode more and more together, you knew which way you were going to go to pass someone, and it was good to ride with someone that good.
So would you do anything different if you could go back?
I'd probably, maybe if we could have, it was just too hard financially, whatever. After our first season in Europe, it would be really good to go back and do another whole season. That would have been cool, and just race more over there. But it's just financially and logistically, it's a massive thing to do.
That is a huge thing to do.
But like I said earlier, it was the time of my life. It was so good.
Yeah. What do you think made you guys so successful?
We were pretty determined, and we put a huge amount of effort into it. Like, we pretty well lived 8 free sidecars. Yeah, the effort we put into it and how much we liked it. I think, like, I'd look at all the effort John was putting in and how good he was at it, and you want to do well for him as well. Yeah, we were pretty dedicated. It was our whole life for a lot of years.
Yeah, well,
for
driving all
how
over.
many years afterwards as well.
Yeah, and to be driving all over Australia and doing all of those, you guys would have been pretty well known. Like, you rolling up at, like, in WA and stuff, people would have been like, what the hell? Like, these guys have driven all the way from SA, and then next minute you're in Queensland, and then you're in Victoria. Like, everyone would have known who you guys were.
I don't think that there was anyone else doing that, like doing all those meetings. No one else went up to Queensland. It was only the Queenslanders, and I think John lived up there for a little while.
Yeah.
And that's when he first raced up there before we were riding together. But they didn't actually like us going up there.
I was going to say, what did they think when you guys would roll like, oh, not these guys?
Yeah. I think the first year we went, they still had the 2 titles, the 500 and 1000cc, but everyone's pretty well riding the same bikes. And I think we won them both. And then the next year we went and they said, you can't ride both. You have to nominate which one you want to ride. So one of the Queenslanders would win a state title. So I think we nominated the 1000 one because that's better to win. And we won, and we got one little trophy between the two of us.
They're like, screw you guys.
I remember John's father had a replica of that made and gave it to me. He's gone, here you go, now you got one each.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
But, yeah, so that was a big weekend with 23 or so hours driving each way, and come back, we had this one little trophy to share.
Oh, far out. Oh, yeah, they must have been hating it.
Coming up and winning.
Yeah, did you
It made it even more fun.
Yeah, just to like, oh, it sucked in. Did you have many rivalry? Like, did people like have much rivalry like that?
No, I think it was only really there.
Yeah.
They were the only ones that were a bit antsy about it all. In general, everyone else, you just had really good respect for each other. And all the guys in Victoria and Darren and Mark here, the WA guys, there's Cliff Cook and Stanger, his passenger. They'd been over to Europe before we did. And, they were good guys.
Well, you guys, yeah, if they'd been over there first, you guys would have been probably one of the first sort of ones to go over as well, yeah?
Yeah, so they actually helped us out a bit. I think Joe Brockhausen was helping them a bit as well, and yeah, they gave us a few tips and things to do. So
what advice would you give to anyone like new now wanting to start?
I think if you're that keen and you want to do it, you just got to get out there and start hanging around with the people doing it, and someone's going to give you a crack and have a go at it. Mix in those circles, and sooner or later you'll get a ride with someone, or if you want to ride, you buy your own bike. Or I actually bought my own bike and then ended up being the passenger. Well, that was the plan anyway.
Yeah.
Just probably not, doesn't happen that often.
Well, I bought my bike because I bought a bike I passengered on, and I just brought that bike, and then I've been riding that one, but I was going to get my sister. I was trying to get my sister to ride it so then I could passenger.
Right.
Yeah, but she sort of done a couple of practices and then she sort of wussed out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So she's not going to do it at all.
No, I think she wants to, but she just gets too worried. I think she's a bit scared. But she's pretty good. Like she could ride it good. Like she thinks she just overthinks it too much.
Needs some more confidence.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's good though, because like I'm on the side, so I'm like yelling at her the whole time, like go, 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 go. Like I think there was parts when we went and did a practice, there was places where she actually rode the sidecar that there's no way she would have rode her solo because she felt safer riding the sidecar. So yeah, one day I might get her out there. Once she does it once, I think she'll be right. Once she does one race, then I reckon she'll be hooked. But it's just getting her to do that one race. Yeah. But we had the last Murray Williams Cup, we had an all-female race and we had 6 all-female teams.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So 6 all-female, teams, and we had our own 3 races.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty
really
good. Yeah. Yeah. So I reckon we'll probably try and keep that one going and see if we can get a few more because there was quite a few that weren't there, that weren't riding. So, that's
so
pretty good.
Even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, I know one reliability trials, I reckon we had 5 all-female teams.
Right.
Yeah. Did you ever do any of those?
No, I never did anything like that.
Yep. Just stuck with the motocross?
Yeah. Just sort of started in that and didn't really have anything to do with anyone doing that.
Yeah.
I think we were that busy doing motocross.
Yeah, with that many events and travelling everywhere, you would have hardly ever been home. Well, it sounds like you had a pretty cool career.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Lots of adventures and crazy memories.
For sure.
And being able to spend that much time over in Europe is pretty cool. Like, I don't think there's been many people since then that have really gone over. Brian Anthony. But I don't think, I know Crash and a few of the guys have been to the UK.
The Welsh UK thing they do or something?
Yeah, that enduro stuff. But I don't think anyone else has gone to the GPs or the motocross side of it.
Well, John's obviously been there a few times since, but I don't think.
He did the Des Nations.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else has actually gone there for.
Not like what you guys did, yeah. But we've got a few up and comers. Like I did a podcast yesterday with James Wally, and he said that he really wants to go over and do it. So do the motocross stuff. And there's a couple of young ones, Crash's son. A couple of young ones. So we might see them head over there. Never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be good. But you guys paved the way.
I still, all right, I follow the world sidecar stuff a bit. And there's like the young twins from
Latvia,
yeah. It's pretty cool to see some youngsters out there because sidecars in general, it's been sort of older guys.
Yeah, I think because when you're that young, you can't afford anything. You got to wait till you're like in your 30s before you can start buying stuff because you just,
Very true.
Yeah. And then by the time you get all the good stuff, you're like, oh, now I'm getting old.
Yeah. Too old to use it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm, 42, and I'm like, I feel ripped off.
Yeah,
I want to be really good.
To the sidecars.
Yeah, I'm like, bugger. Oh, well, I'll just keep doing it. Yeah. I'll just keep doing it until I can't do it anymore. Yeah.
That's a really cool thing that you've started doing that, though.
And it's weird. It's like after I had my kids too. So I'm like, a mum with little kids and I'm like not young and I'm like, right, I'm going to race sidecars. People are like, what the hell? My friends are like, what are you doing? Midlife crisis.
Yeah, like it'd be normally something like that. It's like, I might go back and play netball again.
Yeah.
Nah. To actually take up racing sidecars at that stage of life.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I'm a bit crazy.
I think you must be with your other career that you've had as well.
Yeah. You gotta live life to the max, I reckon.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I can't do normal sports are too boring. I can't I can't do it. It's too boring. I'm like, nah, this is dumb. Give me something more extreme. Mm.
and like this is no dress rehearsal. This is our life.
Yeah.
It's going to be over soon. So
Yep. No, it's good though. My kids get to watch me do it and they're like, "Go, mum, like this is
yeah,
awesome." And then like my two girls race on a little sidecar and they think
right.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, they have a little demo 50 sidecar that they race on and yeah. And I say to them, "Oh, like
That'd be pretty cute.
yeah, it is. It's pretty funny because like at some of the, the bigger tracks like out at South Coast, they're trying to go up the jump and they're like going backwards down it because they can't get up the hill because their bike's just this little bike and they're just like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, no, they love it. But they're like,
That's
oh,
really
we
good.
want to be just like you, mum. And it's like, oh, cool. All
Yeah, that
righty.
would be a good thing to do with your kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we all camp at the track and go racing, so it's pretty cool. My husband doesn't ride; he just sort of pit crews and babysits, and
Yeah.
yeah, thinks that we're mad. So
That's not the usual family setup, is it?
no, no. Alrighty, well, I might let you go, and yeah, thanks heaps for jumping on, and it's really cool to talk to someone that's from back in the day,
Mm. The
different,
olden days.
yeah, different life, back then and how it is now, and
Mm.
yeah, no, it's good.
Ah, thank you for asking.
No, well, when John was telling me all of these stories, and I thought, who's this crazy passenger that he had with him? No,
It was
all
good
good.
listening to John's one. One of my son's friends, his dad raced road trials a bit, and he's actually done the last couple of 24 hours.
Yeah,
And he said he heard that one with John. And he's going, "God, you got a few mentions in that one."
yeah. John's a good storyteller too. So
Yeah.
he had lots of stuff to say. It was good. It was good.
Mm.
So we might see you on a sidecar one day with your son, hey?
Yeah, you never know. I was
You know,
actually trying to get up to Period Easter to have a look, but
yeah,
the way things worked out, I didn't get there because that was always a good weekend.
yeah. Well, we had 11 sidecars there, so that was pretty good. Good day racing. And I
Good
think
time.
it's pumped everyone up for the year now.
Oh, that's good. Off to a flying start.
Yeah, yep. That should be good. And then we've got Australian titles later on this year with the quads, and we've got, I think,
Where's that at this year?
South Coast. So
Oh,
Mo
right.
Bridge. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yep. So that I think that's in October.
Yep.
And then we have our Murray Williams Cup as well in October. And then I think there might be another vintage Aussie titles, but unsure where those ones are going to be held. They had a few of those up in Queensland, and we did them at Piri the year before. We had a few bikes, so yeah, that was pretty cool. I got to hop on like an old 1963, I reckon it was, Norton. Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy. It was a cool experience. Oh, mate, Nick Higgs. You probably raced with him back in the day. I think he
Mm.
actually passengered for John one
All
time.
right.
Or yeah, but
I don't remember him, but
yeah. So he
no.
drove down here from Queensland with that one, and I just jumped on with him because I'm a bit of a sidecar swinging hoe. I'm like, just jump on with everyone. I've already been on with like 3 or 4 people in the last month. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I'll hop on. I'll hop on. I'll hop on.
Good experience.
Yeah, if anyone needs a passenger, I'm like, pick me. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to hopefully, I got 2 old RM. I got a 125 and a 465 as well,
Yeah.
and the 81 models. And I want to fix them up and race them in the vintage
Oh yeah.
somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, cool. Yeah, they put on a good show when they the one that they had at Perry was really good.
All right.
Really good. The 2-day one. Or 4-day I think it was. It was huge. But yeah,
Cool.
it was really good. But yeah, that'll be a good one.
Sending photos of sidecars for sale to my son. So hopefully one day we'll get one. We'll have a play on it.
Ah, that'll be good. You should definitely do it. You'll
Right.
get the bug back and then you won't want to stop.
Yeah,
Yep. No,
quite
all good.
possible.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'll let you go. And yeah, thanks again for jumping on and Yeah.
Thank you, Tash.
No, all good. Hopefully see you out there.
Catch up at a race.
Yep, all good. All right, take it easy.
Thanks again.
See ya.
You too. Bye.
I just want to give a shout out to the Sidecar Spin sponsors: the Dohse Family, Manuel MotoSports, Modern Air, Diesel Performance Solutions SA, and Clare Valley Speckle Park Beef. Please go and jump on Facebook and give these guys a like, and make sure you pop in and support the businesses that support sidecars. Thank you. A massive thank you to Simon for jumping on and having a chat. It's always really cool to chat to the old school racers. It's just such a different life, like, to what we have now with the sidecars. And yeah, it's really cool just listening to those old stories. And yeah, thanks everyone for your support. And yeah, make sure you jump on, like, subscribe, comment, rate, just share the podcast around so we can get more exposure for sidecars. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you.